Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So we did it. Barcelona got the win. We got the win and we won 4-0 against Getafe with a goal coming from Raphinha, João Felix, Frenkie de Jong, and Fermin Lopez. Just when we thought that Barcelona were not going to be able to compete to go into the top 4 of La Liga, Barcelona do this. Barcelona did follow up after tying against Napoli 1-1 with a 4-0 win against Getafe. In both games, Barcelona played phenomenal. They played their game. They looked much more aggressive with much more intensity. Everything that they have been doing on the pitch, you can just feel that the players are playing with conviction, and that's very, very important. So I was very entertained. I'm so glad that I did not wake up at 6:30 in the morning for no reason. I'm glad that I woke up with a purpose, and I woke up to see Barcelona win 4-0. So this was our starting 11 that we did place. We saw Ter Stegen in goal, Koundé, Araujo, Cubarsí, and Cancelo in the back 4, with Frenkie, Christensen, and Gundogan in the midfield, and then having our front 3 being João Felix, Lewandowski, and Raphinha. You can see that Xavi Hernandez did opt for heavy rotation. We saw Lamine Yamal get fully rested. He did not play a single minute, which was very much needed. Pedri only played about 7 minutes. So we saw a midfield of Christensen, Frenkie, and Gundogan, which I think is a midfield that can make Barcelona compete. And here's the thing, right? Barcelona is responding. Like after seeing Girona lose to Athletic Club 3-2 or Real Madrid tie against Rayo Vallecano 1-1, both teams have lost points. And right now, Barcelona is in second place. Yes, they do have a game in hand over Real Madrid, over Girona, over Atletico Madrid, but still, Barcelona is in the race. Barcelona want to respond, and you can just tell that they have a sense of belief because the players from Real Madrid, Girona, Atletico Madrid, they can fall at any point, just like Barcelona can fall. Barcelona at no point should never believe that they cannot do it. I think that this team can do it. Also keep in mind that Barcelona, they still need to play Girona away from home. They still need to play Atletico Madrid away from home, and also Real Madrid away from home. If Barcelona can defeat those 3 teams at their stadium, there's a high chance that Barcelona can compete to win La Liga. So I am very happy for the players. I'm very happy for Xavi Hernandez. And going back into this game, right, there was 4 things that made Barcelona win this match. Point number 1, they pressed aggressively, which was led by Frenkie de Jong. Point number 2, they adapted to the high press of Getafe extremely fast. Point number 3, the passes that they were making in the middle third of the pitch, it was extremely fast paced. And the reason why they were passing the ball very fast, right, between Frenkie de Jong, Cubarsí, Gundogan, and all of the other players, it was because Getafe had a high line and they knew that they had to pass the ball fast in order to get the ball over the defensive line of Getafe as fast as possible to create goal scoring opportunities. So Barcelona reacted. They saw the problem that Getafe had, and they had a solution. And I'm so happy to see that they have executed on that. Point number 4, and most importantly, they were clinical in front of goal. They tried to score goals with aggressiveness. There was always players around in case there was like a potential rebound from a shot that Barcelona were going to make. Those were the 4 things. Barcelona implemented those 4 ideas in the best way possible, and that is why they won 4-0. So it's crazy to see this because if Barcelona continue like this, there is a possibility that Barcelona can win the league. There is a possibility. I'm not saying that there is a great possibility, but there is a possibility. And it's crazy to also say this because we went from trying to fight for the top 4 in La Liga to potentially going for the league. So ever since Xavi Hernandez announced that he was going to be leaving in this season, Barcelona have 4 wins and 1 tie in the past 5 matches. Our next match is going to be against Athletic Club at San Mamés. It's going to be very important for us to win. It's going to be a real test, and it's going to show whether Barcelona are actually improving or not. But based off the feelings that we have gotten from this game against Getafe, you can just tell that the players are much more inspired. So let's talk about the goals and talk about the first goal, because we saw Raphinha make a run down the right flank. Koundé makes a amazing long pass over Raphinha. Raphinha receives the ball and shoots the ball into the bottom left corner. We go on to the second goal. We can see that Cubarsí passes the ball to Gundogan. Raphinha receives the ball right after. He passes it to Christensen, where Christensen makes an amazing run down the middle, and then Christensen puts a cross into João Felix, and João Felix taps in the goal. And I know that you guys were probably watching this second goal and you guys are like, wait a minute, I feel like I have seen this before. Like the type of goal that Barcelona scored, it very much resembled the goal that Argentina scored with Di Maria against France in the World Cup final. It was very much similar. You can tell that Xavi Hernandez took some notes from that game and what Scolani did. It was a beautiful, beautiful Barcelona goal. Moving on towards the third one, and we can see Frenkie de Jong driving the ball down the middle. Gundogan receives the ball. He tries to pass it to Raphinha, but it got deflected and the ball went strangely right back to Raphinha. Raphinha passes the ball to Frenkie de Jong and Frenkie de Jong scores the goal. What a great way to see Raphinha try to follow up with that ball, because he could have lost it and then just gave up on that ball, but he continued to fight for the ball. He maintained possession, and that is why he was able to pass it to Frenkie de Jong. He was a true fighter for tonight. Moving on towards the fourth goal, and that was with, again, Frenkie de Jong making a killer pass down the middle. Vitor Roque receives the ball. He tries to score the goal himself, but then it gets deflected. Fermin Lopez ends up getting the ball, and he shoots the ball to the goal, and he made it 4-0. These were all amazing goals. I loved it because, again, there was a lot of aggressiveness in the way that Barcelona were playing, and that is the type of game that we would like to see. So, stepping away from these goals, I also want to speak about the individual performances of some of these players. Player number 1, Cubarsí at the age of 17 years old. The fact that he was even starting in this game is already amazing, because to do this at 17 is amazing, but to start and then to perform well at 17, it's something that is unheard of. These are going to be the stats that Cubarsí placed against Getafe. He had 93 touches, 71 out of 82 passes were completed, which was the most. He was dispossessed 0 times, had 8 clearances, 4 headed clearances, 5 ball recoveries, 2 out of 2 ground duels won, 4 out of 4 aerial duels won, 100% duels won, 0 fouls committed, and 0 times dribbled past. Again, to do this at 17, it is unheard of. I just feel like in the way that Cubarsí is going and the way that he is improving, whoever is going to be coaching Barcelona next season has to have Cubarsí in their plans. And he is definitely the future of Barcelona's defense. To be right alongside Araujo or Koundé or even Mikhail Faye, Barcelona is truly set in that defense for the next couple of years. Moving on towards the next player, and that is Gundogan. Gundogan also had an amazing game. According to Apta Jose, he has stated that Gundogan is the first player in the top 5 European leagues to reach the mark of 100 chances created this season in all competitions, and in this game he created the most chances, which was a total of 5. So it is impeccable, right? It is just phenomenal to see that Gundogan is performing like this, and for him to come in as a free transfer, he is definitely in Barcelona's top 3 best transfers of all time. And if you combine his goals and assists and what he has been doing all around, like this whole season, he's probably going to go down as probably one of the best players of Barcelona this season overall. And outside of his goals and assists, he still supports his players. Every time one of the players have the ball, Gundogan always makes himself available, or when he does have the ball, he creates space for the other players and he finds the players in a amazing way. And this is something that he was doing multiple times against Getafe, with Getafe pressing extremely hard. To Gundogan, it did not matter. So speaking about midfielders, I lastly want to speak about the most important midfielder of tonight, and that was Frenkie de Jong. Just when we thought that Frenkie was going to be leaving in the summer, just when we thought that Frenkie was the main reason why Barcelona cannot even maneuver in the transfer window, right? Because everyone was saying that his contract is poison to the club. He scores a goal against Getafe after following what he did say to the media and saying that the media are lies, that all they do is make up fake narratives and just to destroy the club internally. Frenkie de Jong is attacking the media in all levels, off the pitch and on the pitch. He scored a goal against Getafe and was the most impactful player. There are very little players out there in the world of football that can get away from pressure through their dribbles. Frenkie de Jong is probably a master at that. Every time he does drive with the ball, no one can take the ball away from him, even when he's surrounded by 2 or 3 players. He was, again, the reason why Barcelona scored 1 to 2 goals is because of his driving, because of the way that he does maintain the ball. And here are going to be the stats that Frenkie had against Getafe. He had the most tackles, which was a total of 3, won the most duels, which was a total of 10. I think that's the most important stat, right? He won the most duels, which was 10. From an attacking standpoint and from a defensive standpoint, he completed 68 passes out of 74, which led him at a 92% accurate rate. Chances created 2, 95 touches, 6 passes into the final third, 1 interception, and 4 ball recoveries. Every time Getafe had the ball in the middle and they were trying to progress play, Frenkie de Jong was always the first player to pressure the opposition. Always. It always happened, which was followed up by Gundogan getting the ball right after. Barcelona were dominant. And it's crazy how fast Frenkie has been gelling with Christensen. They have formed a double pivot as of late. They have been playing together within the past 6 to 7 matches. And Frenkie de Jong really does look comfortable with Christensen, and I love that. So in the end, Barcelona had an amazing game. And this is what Xavi Hernandez had to say about the match. For many things, I think it's a very complete game, both in defense and attack, in intensity. We matched a very aggressive, very intense team. They don't stop working, running, pressing high, and their defensive line was very high, but we were able to compete. And so I'm glad, I'm happy to see that the players have finally woken up, and I think that at this rate and the way that they are playing, Barcelona can compete at all levels. And it's going to be very exciting to see how they finish this season. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.